Just about an hour ago, police officers and first responders were all around the scene behind me. And as I'll show you right behind me, you have everything from funnel cakes to fresh cut French fries, chicken tenders. And since I have a shovel, I might as well do some of my own. Wow, the snow is pretty light. And I'm going to continue to do some shoveling, and I'm going to send it right back to you, Tasmin. And I'm standing here outside of the Hagerstown YMCA for the Relay for Life event. The event's going to kick off in about an hour or so. With the Click It or Ticket initiative, officers from the Chambersburg Police Department are doing their part to ensure that the public is riding with their seatbelts on. And I spoke to some kids who said they had a great time, but also learned some valuable tips when it comes to riding a bike. And Chief Camacho says thanks to some nearby witnesses, they were able to receive help with their investigation. In my hands is the application to become a Chambersburg police officer. I've been standing on East Washington Street for probably the last 15 or 20 minutes or so, and I can tell you this snow has been coming down pretty steadily. May of 2010 is a time Steve Myers will never forget. He was taking his son to a soccer game and driving on I-81 North while another driver was getting off an exit ramp at Shippensburg.
And she hit us head on. We were going north in the northbound lane. She was going south in the northbound lane.
Myers says the other driver had twice the legal limit of alcohol in her system. Steve was flown to York Trauma Center and spent weeks in a nursing home rehabilitating.
26 broken bones. I love to trail run. I'm active. My wife's active. Both my heels were crushed. I was told I was never run again.
Myers persevered and overcame his injuries. He has participated in numerous Spartan races and loves to exercise. And although he has come a long way, there are still things he deals with today because of the accident.
Not only the suffering we went through physically, but mentally, it takes a stress. I mean, here it is 8 years later, and I still have ailments and aches and pains, and that gets to you physically, but also mentally.
Myers has a message for those who thinks it's okay to get behind the wheel drunk.
If you're drinking, you're having a drink or two or more, don't get behind the wheel. Have a driver that'll drive you. Give somebody else the keys. It's not worth it. 1 in 5 people will be diagnosed with skin cancer at some point in their lifetime. If detected early, it can be treated. But Jon Dec, the mayor of Thurmont, will tell you that it's better to try and protect your skin so you don't get it. Jon Dec, the mayor of Thurmont, has always been known for his long beard. But due to skin cancer, he was forced to cut it down.
And one of the doctors, I go to Johns Hopkins, and she asked me to cut my beard off so they could have a better look at my face. Well, rather than cut it all the way off, I cut most of it off, and she was happy with that.
Dec first discovered he had skin cancer 20 years ago and had it removed. Within the last 4 or 5 years, the skin cancer on his face and scalp has accelerated, which has forced him to have more surgeries. Dec attributes the cancer to working outside for more than 48 years.
40 years ago, when I first started working, there was no sunscreen. Now we have the option to use 120 SPF, and I recommend everyone that goes outside and does anything outdoors use that, whether you think you're going to burn or not.
Joanna Thingmeyer is a nurse practitioner who specializes in dermatology. She says that skin cancer in adults can be attributed to sunburns from their youth.
Having a burn or getting burnt during adolescence or childhood will double the chances of acquiring melanoma in the future.
Thingmeyer recommends her patients to protect their skin.
I always tell my patients who come in for skin checks or have a suspicious looking mole that they see that they should always be using a sunblock with a zinc base to it. So that way they get protection all day long.
According to the American Academy of Dermatology, there are 9,500 cases of skin cancer diagnosed daily. Dec wants everyone to be aware of the problem.
And I've had this as an ongoing problem for 30 plus years. So I can tell you that skin cancer comes along, and it keeps coming back.
And Dec says his skin cancer will not stop him from serving the town of Thurmont. Reporting live from the studio, I'm Jonathan Hunter for WDVM News.
I just want your company, someone who can cover me, but baby girl, you talk too much. Why?
Those are the sounds coming from Bold Beats, a production company in Chambersburg. Tyrone Rhodes produces beats in his studio, thanks to his father, Claude. Tyrone says he learned a lot about the hip-hop industry from his dad.
Just to sit there and watch him spend countless numbers of hours sitting there researching and learning new things is motivation for me, because at his age he's still having the motivation to do this.
Claude has introduced many youth in the Chambersburg area to music through Strong Arm Family. The organization was founded in 1999 to help at-risk teens.
And it was a way for them to let their aggression out through music instead of actually putting it out, you know what I'm saying, in the streets.
Claude took many people under his wing and believes he saved a lot of them from going down the wrong path. He even encouraged many to start their own groups.
Because what I was doing when I was bringing them up or teaching them, I was trying to tell them, you need to get your group together. You know what I'm saying? Get somebody to build your team and do the same thing that I'm doing for you. You teach somebody the same way that I'm teaching you.
And one of those who started their own group was William Hauser. William founded Team Watch Me Win. The nonprofit helps people with cancer, autism, and Crohn's disease. Team Watch Me Win is also a clothing line and a music platform where many artists were able to come through. William attributes the success of Team Watch Me Win to Strong Arm Family.
And that's where all the knowledge basically from dealing with OG came into place. Because at one time I had like 17 artists.
And William was in the streets and at one point locked up. He believes Claude helped save his life.
A lot of stuff that Claude told me, I was still in trouble, but it helped me through so much though.
And when talking to Claude, I asked him an honest question of how many lives did he think he saved, and he said it was too many for him to count. Reporting live in the studio, I'm Jonathan Hunter for WDVM News.